You can never have too much Bitcoin. We're big Bitcoin bulls. Our thesis is that Bitcoin is digital property, but without the risks and liabilities of commercial real estate. It's a digital commodity without the risks and the liabilities of gold. It's a digital tech investment without the risks and the liabilities of big tech. And so we're bullish. When banks on Wall Street and responsible custodians are managing Bitcoin and the industry takes its eyes away from all of the shiny little tokens that have distracted and demolished shareholder value, I think the industry moves to the next level and we 10x from here.
It has been approximately 38 months since Michael Saylor's company, MicroStrategy, a software and business intelligence firm, commenced its strategy of accumulating Bitcoin as a core asset on its balance sheet. Following their initial purchase of $250 million, MicroStrategy has continued to make numerous multi-million-dollar acquisitions. Their most recent acquisition, made in October, amounted to $5.3 million. With this latest purchase, MicroStrategy now holds a total of 158,000 Bitcoins, acquired at an average cost of $29,518.60 per coin, totaling $4.69 billion. Since the end of the second quarter of 2023, MicroStrategy has allocated $167 million toward Bitcoin purchases. According to Michael Saylor, the co-founder and executive chairman of the company, there are no plans to cease or slow down this acquisition trend anytime soon. In a recent interview with CNBC, Saylor, a prominent Bitcoin enthusiast and billionaire investor, discussed MicroStrategy's Bitcoin holdings, the software aspect of their business, and 3 significant events he is eagerly anticipating in 2024. Saylor highlighted that, in his view, the approval of a spot Bitcoin exchange-traded fund in 2024 by the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, along with the proposed rule change by the Financial Accounting Standards Board, will have a profoundly positive impact on Bitcoin's price and its ongoing adoption in 2024 and beyond. Here, we will provide excerpts from Saylor's interview, beginning with his discussion about the long-standing partnership between MicroStrategy and Microsoft, his outlook on Bitcoin, especially after the approval of a spot Bitcoin ETF, and how such approval will affect MicroStrategy.
We're really excited about our partnership with Microsoft and AI. We're the first BI company to put AI into our product line, and it provides great artificial intelligence boost to our business intelligence business. We're going to use it to grow the business by acquiring new customers, and also it's accelerating cloud adoption within our customer base.
Does the introduction of an ETF help or hurt investor appetite for MicroStrategy specifically?
Well, I think it's going to help. It's going to accelerate adoption, and it's also going to accelerate institutional awareness and education efforts of Wall Street to teach the 99% of the investors that don't know about Bitcoin what it's all about. MicroStrategy is a differentiated offering. I think spot Bitcoin ETF is a great thing for investors, but we don't charge a fee. We use intelligent leverage, and we can generate a tax-deferred Bitcoin premium for our investors. So for people that are really long-term bulls on Bitcoin, we represent a pretty attractive option or alternative to a spot Bitcoin ETF.
Presumably, you think the SEC is going to be forced to approve this. Can you give us a time scale on when this might happen?
Well, I think the Bloomberg analysts that cover this, they're of the opinion that it's highly likely to happen by early January. I think it'll happen when it happens. But long term, I guess the most important point to be made is institutions are adopting Bitcoin. It's highly likely that it will happen, if not by first quarter of next year, at some point in the coming 12 months. And we know the halving is coming. So if you've got a 12-month to 48-month time horizon, this is a pretty ideal entry point into the asset.
Beyond the imminent approval of the ETF, which many anticipate could be announced shortly, there are 2 other significant developments that Michael Saylor is eagerly anticipating. In 2024, he looks forward to the Bitcoin halving, an event that occurs every 4 years, as well as the implementation of fair accounting principles for cryptocurrencies by the Financial Accounting Standards Board. Around 2 months ago, the FASB voted unanimously in favor of fair value accounting for crypto assets held on corporate balance sheets. Presently, companies are only allowed to report price gains on their digital assets when they sell them, and losses are reported at least annually. However, with the proposed rule change, companies will be permitted to immediately reflect gains and losses on their cryptocurrency holdings in their income statements. According to Michael Saylor, fair value accounting removes a significant hurdle to the corporate adoption of Bitcoin as a treasury asset. When combined with the high likelihood of a spot Bitcoin ETF in 2024, it is expected that more investors, including multi-million-dollar fund managers and large corporate entities, will enter the Bitcoin market. Saylor predicts that these factors will lead to at least a tenfold increase in Bitcoin's price when all these elements come into play. The interview includes further excerpts that delve into these topics and offer additional insights.
Most of the natural sellers of Bitcoin in the market right now are Bitcoin miners, and they have to sell to pay their electricity bill and their capital cost and retire their debt. That's about $1 billion a month worth of selling into the market. The protocol forces that to be cut in half as of about next April, late April. So you're going to see $12 billion of natural selling per year converted into $6 billion of natural selling a year. At the same time as things like spot Bitcoin ETFs increase the demand for Bitcoin. So that's why all of us are fairly bullish over the next 12 months. Demand's going to increase, supply is going to contract, and this is fairly unprecedented in the history of Wall Street. Long term, this is going to open the door for corporations to adopt Bitcoin as a treasury asset and create shareholder value with their balance sheets. I mean, the big dilemma in the market today is the Magnificent Seven. 7 companies are generating all the shareholder returns, and 7,000 companies are struggling to create shareholder value. MicroStrategy's secret is we're leveraging our balance sheet as well as our P&L. We've got more than $5 billion of assets on our balance sheet, and Bitcoin is growing at 3 or 4 times the cost of capital. So imagine what happens if other companies are able to use their balance sheets as assets instead of liabilities. Right now, the existing accounting, it favors using credit and sovereign debt, and the after-tax yield of credit isn't keeping up with cost of capital, and the result is most corporations pursue dilutive strategies of acquisitions, share buybacks, dividends, which are taxable, and they can't really hold billions and billions of dollars of capital and beat the cost of capital and generate shareholder returns. So this FASB accounting allows you to mark up and down the asset. It allows you to recognize investor gains. You know, if Berkshire Hathaway didn't have Apple, it wouldn't be a winning stock, but it's not practical for 1,000 companies to hold Apple stock as a treasury reserve asset. It is practical for them to start buying Bitcoin, and FASB's accounting opens the door for that. The liabilities are the early crypto cowboys, the crypto tokens, the unregistered securities, the unreliable crypto custodians. For the industry to move to the next level, we need to migrate to adult supervision. We're going to need big banks to become the crypto custodians. We're going to need Wall Street to take a role, and we need to rationalize away from the 100,000 crypto tokens, you know, yo-yo coins that people are manipulating, to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is an asset without an issuer. It is the one universally recognized protocol that's a commodity in the space. So when banks on Wall Street and responsible custodians are managing Bitcoin and the industry takes its eyes away from all of the shiny little tokens that have distracted and demolished shareholder value, I think the industry moves to the next level and we 10x from here.
MicroStrategy recently conducted its Q3 2023 earnings call. During this call, Michael Saylor discussed the remarkable journey of the software and business intelligence firm since embracing a Bitcoin standard in August 2020. Saylor emphasized that from the moment they adopted the Bitcoin standard to the end of Q3 2023, MicroStrategy's stock price surged by 242%, exceeding Bitcoin's own 192% increase during the same period. Saylor also highlighted how other investment options fared during this time frame. He noted that the S&P 500 index only gained 25%, the Nasdaq increased by 177%, and gold saw a 2% loss. Silver and bonds performed even worse, experiencing losses of 18% and 24%, respectively. During the earnings call, Saylor expressed his optimism about the potential approval of a spot Bitcoin exchange-traded product and its positive impact on the cryptocurrency. He stated, "There's a lot of discussion of a spot ETF. If and when they are approved, we certainly think that they're beneficial to the entire asset class. They will represent an on-ramp for capital on Wall Street to come into the Bitcoin ecosystem, and they'll dramatically increase the availability of Bitcoin as an asset to both retail investors and institutional investors," corporate investors, trusts, and endowments. For more Daily Dose Crypto news, check out these 2 awesome videos on your screen. Click now and we will see you on the next video.